After completing the Tech Returns main course, we've been given 2 weeks to come up with an application. My team and I came up with Grokit. People of all ages learn and upskill, from students revising for an exam to an adult changing career. We wanted to create an app that helped them with whatever it is they're willing to learn. The app is named after the idea of grokking something and truly understanding it intuitively. For over hundreds of years, scientists and psychologists have investigated the forgotten curve, the idea that as soon as we learn something, we start forgetting it. Studies have shown that we can combat this by spacing out our practices initially close together and then further and further apart. This technique is used in classrooms as well as language acquisition apps such as Duolingo. But we want this app to allow any user to apply to any skill without having to worry about calculating the optimum time to practice. The app uses a backend algorithm that we wrote to work out the skills to practice each day for a user. All what the users need to do is to input what is they willing to learn. Let's explore the app. When a user comes to homepage, they will learn about how the app can help them to grok new information. They will learn about the forgotten curve and how the app will help them to combat forgetting the knowledge they are trying to learn. Let's have a look how this looks for a new user. So we will sign up. The app is responsive on mobile and desktop. Let's take on mobile. Let's look at it on mobile. User will sign up using Amazon Cognito, sending confirmation code by email. I've got my confirmation code here, so I'm going to verify. The user then lands on a home page. At the moment, it will tell them how the app is going to work and look at some projects they could be studying. It could be learning about timetables and is broken to skills they need to practice for the project. There are also other examples to help them think about projects they might need to do and how they will break it down. Let's start by adding our own project. I'm going to start learning about Python. We can edit the name of the project, so I'm going to call it Python List Methods. That's what I'm trying to practice. I can also add skills. I can also delete or edit a skill and also delete a project. These are the skills, the set of skills that we'll be seeing on each day, breaking it down to chunks that is manageable for all the amount of time. You might want to study one list method each day. They can also add as many skills as they want, or they can also add skills later to the project. So if they're halfway through a project and they've realized they have other skills to learn, they can go back and add them easily. Now we will go back and see the home page for user that's already using the product and has data. And let's look how the app looks for them. I'm going to sign in. As you see, when user lands on the home page, they see a lot of different information compared to a new sign up. After greeting, it tells them what skill they need to practice today. For Python project, I need to practice the count method. And for code works, I need to practice level 6 kata. This is going to be the page that user sees every day, and they're told which skill they will be practicing each day. is going to be the page that users will see and learn and focus on which skill they need to learn. When they complete the practice, they can click on the button and answer a question about how they feel about their practice. If they find it hard, they can click on hard. They will receive a message to say they will see this again in about 1 day. And the reason why is about, because it depends on how they found other skills and their prior practice. So this is done for today. Now let me also mark this as an easy. Again, is about, and it also to do with my prior practice. As you see, there's also other views of features. You can see the built-in Pomodoro timer. A user can use it to time themselves while they're practicing a skill. But also, they can look at the predicted schedule over the days. Maybe the next 7 days, maybe the next 4 days, for each project, of course. Or maybe for the next day only. So that this helps them to plan what they will do and see how other projects and skills are laid out over the time. Just like a new user, we can create a new project. Let's call it French grammar. We can also edit the name of the project if we need to. Can add skills. Add the skills. I can edit skills or delete skills. They also have this page to see more tasks based on their practices. This is where is linked back to understanding the forgotten curve. I'm going to have a look at this on the desktop since I'll be able to find more information with some of the hover effects. When they first studied a skill and there was 0 day of their first practice, they practiced it so they remember 100%. But initially, after the first day, it dropped to 60% only. Then when they practiced it again and kept on the practice button, we can see that after 1 day of practice, for example here, after 1 day of practice, so here is 100%, and then after 1 day of practice, remember 95% of what they were learning. And you can see how each practice is helping them to retain that knowledge. But if they don't practice for a long time, the amount of the learning is going to drop down. This also helps them to encourage them to go back and practice a skill that they didn't see for a while. Thank you for listening.